Good morning. My name is Kathy Cole. My husband Matt and children Maddie and Katie moved to Tallahassee in October 2018 and have attended St. Paul's since March of 2019. Maddie was confirmed here at St. Paul's in May. As part of his confirmation, he reminded us all of what it means to be a Methodist, to faithfully support the church with our prayers, presence, gifts, service, and witness. Although we have not become members at St. Paul's, we have given our prayers, presence, gifts, and service. Now it's time for our witness. In the summer of 2018, we were in Tallahassee for 2 weeks to house hunt. Prior to that trip, I looked online for churches to visit as well. For whatever reason, St. Paul's did not come up in that search. However, we spent those 2 weeks in a vacation rental house on Lake Ella and decided to stop into St. Paul's on our first Sunday. We liked it, but after we bought a house on the north side of town, St. Paul's seemed too far away. We also had the desire to attend a church with our neighbors. After visits to 2 churches on the north side, including spending the 2018 Advent season at a non-Methodist church, I was missing the Methodist feeling. Let me back up for a few minutes and explain that I did not grow up Methodist. I grew up Catholic, even attending Catholic school for 8 years. Everything I know about being a Methodist comes from the 18 years I attended King Avenue UMC in Columbus, Ohio, where Matt, a lifelong Methodist, brought me shortly before we were married. We were married at King Avenue, and our kids were baptized there. King Avenue is an old stone church near the Ohio State University campus with a large bell tower. On that bell tower hangs a 30-foot banner that reads, "All are welcome. Experience inclusiveness as God intends." You see, King Avenue, the church where I learned about Methodism, has been a reconciling congregation for over 20 years. When I started attending King Avenue, it was only a few years after the long process concluded to become a reconciling church. The pastor who led the church through the process was then leading the church into a time of healing and growth. The following pastor carried this forward and even expanded the reconciling ministries. It has been such a joy to attend King Avenue during this time. Watching our children grow in such a welcoming environment has been a blessing. The children and youth ministries are strong and teach so many intangibles. King Avenue has an art gallery where they host a different artist each month. Every year, 1 month is set aside for the children and youth to display their artwork. Before we moved, Maddie contributed a Lego creation with a caption that read, "Family is family. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do or where you have been. It doesn't matter if you're heroes or farmers, warriors or droids. It doesn't even matter how your family is set up. Family is family. And that's all that matters." When thinking about a reconciling church, the focus is usually about LGBTQI people. This is true at King Avenue in some ways. They host rehearsals and concerts for the Columbus Gay Men's Chorus. They host the Capitol Pride Band. They march in the Columbus Pride Parade in the AIDS Walk. And yes, they have a large number of LGBTQI members. However, a reconciling church is really about radical hospitality. King Avenue displays radical hospitality in many ways, from little things like including children of all abilities in all activities, having gluten-free options for communion, making sack lunches for the homeless, to the big things like working with the local food pantry, building houses with Habitat for Humanity, hosting diversity seminars for the community, starting a new church downtown, being home to its own theater company, supporting an orphanage in Mexico. One of my favorite inclusive acts is having a sign language interpreter during services. I love watching the sermons being signed, just as I love watching Pastor Becky here at St. Paul's occasionally sign the hymns. There's something beautiful about talking to God with our hands. All of these acts of radical hospitality, inclusiveness, not only make people feel welcome within the walls of the church, but also extend beyond the walls, bringing the church and God's love to people who have been turned out of churches or told that God does not love them. At King Avenue, we hear numerous witnesses, ranging from how the various ministries of the church are doing to personal stories about how the church has made a difference in their lives. These witnesses are such powerful moments and reminders of the reasons why the church welcomes all. And it is one of the reasons why I felt it important to give a witness today. About the time I was feeling unfulfilled at the non-Methodist church we were attending was the same time as the UMC Special General Conference voted for the One Church Plan. I felt the need even more to be a part of a Methodist church, not because I agreed with the One Church Plan, but because I didn't. I felt the need to be included in making it known that the One Church Plan was not the right direction for the UMC. I got on Facebook and started looking up what local Methodist churches were saying about the plan. Thanks to our prior visit to some St. Paul's, I knew to look there also. St. Paul's was the only church I looked at that had a statement of disappointment in the vote. I told Matt that this is where we need to go. The first Sunday we returned was during Lent 2019, and there was a meeting for the congregation after the service to discuss St. Paul's becoming a reconciling church. When we heard the announcement, Matt and I looked at each other and nodded our agreement that yes, we would be staying for that meeting. There was no discussion, just a yep, we're staying. We felt like it was a sign for us to be there that morning. We know the discussions have slowed, but we encourage you to keep going. It will be hard, it will be painful, but there is so much to be gained. How do I know? Because I come from the other side. I know what a joy it is to be a part of a reconciling Methodist church that truly welcomes all people. We are coming to the end of our time in Tallahassee and are moving back to Ohio. Business will bring us back for a few weeks next summer, and we will be sure to visit. While we are away, know that while you do not have our presence, you will have our prayers. I look forward to seeing the progress St. Paul's makes towards being a place where all people can experience inclusiveness as God intends.